he's ranting about funerals is nothing sacred anymore. Actually, funerals was not originally part on my list. It's just I went to one recently and had some issues with it. I went with a friend to be kind of a shoulder to cry on. Didn't know the guy who died. We'll call him Ben. Didn't know Ben. Just went with my friend to be a shoulder to cry on, be sympathetic. Never met Ben, never met any of Ben's family. Don't know them from Adam, but went there for support. And since I didn't know anybody there, for the most part, my mind just kind of wandered, and I just kind of was more noticeable about certain things going on. We did Psalms 23, we did Amazing Grace, we did all the normals that you do at a funeral. Then one of the ministers comes up on to the podium, and he just was giving this sermon. It was sermon, Ben. Really long sermon. Ben, that's it. You know, and I'm like, okay. This, of course, is after he says, I'm not trying to convert anybody to Christianity or anything else like that. So, okay, fine. Then I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute, we're not even in a church. We're at a funeral parlor. And we have hymns ready, and we have the minister preaching on and stuff else like that. And I'm like, what if the guy's agnostic? They claim he converted to Christianity in his teens, and he died at 20. So he's a Christian. Okay, that's cool. But I mean, I've been to a few funerals, and they all have a nice Christian theme to them. I had an uncle who died last year, right around Christmas, and I couldn't tell if I was at a funeral or if we were talking about the birth of Christ. I really got lost because we were talking about the rising of and everything, and like "O Little Star of Bethlehem," and I'm like, my uncle just died. Can we please talk about him? It'd be nice. And I also think it's kind of wrong that we just only praise the people after they're dead, even though we didn't care for them all too much. But as soon as they're dead, oh, he was such a saint and whatever else. Really, what about the time he stole your car and wrecked it at the age of 13? We don't remember that now? Or what about the fact of what killed him? Was he OD'd? You know? What about he has 3 kids by 3 different mamas and never been married? You know, some of these things that really aren't looked upon too lightly all that often, but he was such a saint. Bullshit once again. I'm sorry, when I die, I actually want people to tell stories about how stupid I was, how crazy I was, how much of an asshole I was. Periodically, my friends and I will actually do stupid stuff, and actually, that's not periodical, that's all the time. And on occasion, we'll actually record some of the stuff that we do, and I actually want some of those videos shown on how stupid we were at my funeral. I'd rather it be more or less like a wake, like there's no mourning. Just, if you really want to remember me, let's remember me. I'll actually try to include one of the videos in the link, and in the link in the description, so you can actually see how stupid I am, or partially. And if you're going to remember someone, remember them right, not, oh, he only ever did good things. Bull, he ever did good things. You know? And then we get to the cemetery, and the pastor's talking about how this is a time to look out for others and how we should not be selfish, whatever else. Well, my friend and I got there before everybody else did. Somehow we missed the little convoy, and we got kind of blocked in when the convoy did show up. So we're sitting on the car, waiting to leave, and there's a guy who comes out to his truck, and he's blocking us in, goes to light a cigarette, and then walks away. It's like, he can't move your truck forward a little bit so we can leave. We're done. We want to go home now. I know you want to visit, but still. What did the priest say about looking out for others and common courtesy and stuff else like that? People are too self-absorbed, you know. We just living in the moment. We don't care about anybody else. Even at a funeral, we don't care about anybody else. It's so sad. I mean, I hope other funerals are different when you're not a Christian, you know, when you're Hindu or you're Muslim or even atheist. I hope funerals are a little bit different so that, you know, it's just so ridiculous these days, in my opinion. I actually enjoyed the funeral I was at earlier this year. Again, I was there for a friend's shoulder to cry on. And the whole thing took like 15 minutes. I was actually in line to see the body longer than I was sitting in one of the pews. Now, I don't know if it was because I've never been to a non-white funeral before, or if I've never been in that church, or what, but 15 minutes and we were done, and I'm like, wow. I don't know that I really want mine like that, but either remember me as I was, the real me as I was, the asshole that you see in all of these videos, this cold-hearted man that you see in all these videos, or that would be like only 10-15 minutes, you know. We don't need to sit there and be all depressed, and then tell all these stories about how great I was, even though I wasn't. And then, this one that we were at, they played a song that, Under the Right Light, is depressing as well. It's like, yes, let's make these people who are depressed more depressed. Even though allegedly he committed suicide and his brother committed suicide a few years prior, yes, let's make a few more people depressed so they'll commit suicide too. I don't know, I'm just kind of losing faith in funerals these days. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Go to a funeral where you don't actually know the person. Sit down and see if any of this actually hits close to home and let me know. Alright? Bye-bye.